Oop. And we are back for the 5th round of the Premier Challenge number 3. So now on stream we're gonna have Melvin against Ryan Chiam.
Now both of these people have appeared in our streams for the previous Premier Challenges, and I don't think they've actually changed their team too much. In fact, Melvin currently he has won both Premier Challenges in Singapore, so it seems like he's aiming for his third one this time round, and Ryan Chiam actually wants to have a piece of that pie, and this battle will probably determine what's going on for the top tag.
Right now both teams are actually more or less similar. I mean, we have seen Chalk versus Chalk in the previous game, and now we're going to see yet another Chalk, but not on both teams this time. This time we actually have Chalk on Ryan's team. However, instead of running either Rotom or Suicune, we actually have a Azumarill this time.
Yes, interesting choice. I believe that Ryan Chiam might be going for the Belly Drum Azumarill set, the one that also like, so that the focus of Chalk isn't completely reliant on Kangaskhan. His Azumarill might be geared up to go and sweep the rest of Melvin's team, which as we can see on the screen is Kangaskhan, Terrakion, Landorus, Amoonguss, Aegislash and Rotom Wash.
One thing I find quite interesting about Melvin is running both Terrakion and Landorus on the same team.
Yes, he does. He did mention before that he specifically runs Terrakion just to go and get the upper hand of the Kang matchup, which is probably going to be very useful here versus Chalk in the Chalk infested meta game that we've been seeing recently.
I mean, right now Terrakion does deal well against Chiam, it deals well against of course Kangaskhan. However, I mean, it does have a bit of a problem with the other four. Landorus, of course, Intimidate and Earthquake. Amoonguss being a bulky grass type as it is. Azumarill can just pretty much go straight for Aqua Jet, and Crystella can just go for a Psychic or Side Shock.
In fact, I would say that the Azumarill is the one key thing on Ryan's team that might actually be able to break Melvin's. Because I believe that these two players have actually played each other before, but this is the first time that we've been seeing the Azumarill on Ryan Chiam's team.
Yeah. I mean, Azumarill does have quite good opportunities to set up Belly Jump here. We have Fake Out support from Kangaskhan, we have Rage Powder support from Amoonguss for Azumarill. So, I mean, it would be quite interesting if Ryan does manage to set up his Belly Drum. However, Melvin at least still has his Rotom Wash to actually, and his own Amoonguss to kind of play around that.
Yes, but at the same time, it will be said that Ryan Chiam, he's fought Melvin before. He's probably lost to Melvin before. He's probably going to be a bit more careful about how he chooses and plays against Melvin, especially now that he might have some sense of what Melvin is doing.
Yep, and now we're going straight into the battle of Melvin against Ryan. I mean, as you mentioned, both players are pretty much using the same team since the past, more or less the same team since the past two Premier Challenge. It's kind of a trend I see here in Singapore that a lot of players like to stick with the same team because they get more familiar with it.
Yes.
They know their own team very well inside out.
And we see a Kangaskhan Rotom lead from Melvin versus Ryan Chiam's Kangaskhan Cresselia. The Rotom is probably to go and stop the Azumarill from if he actually did lead with it. And that burn is going to be useful versus the Kangaskhan, as well as whatever physical attackers that Ryan Chiam might switch in. Ryan Chiam is in a position where he has to choose who to fake out, the Kangaskhan or the Rotom. If he chooses to fake out the Rotom, he might end up getting low kicked by the Kangaskhan. And as we see, he decides to switch to Amoonguss instead.
Maybe that Amoonguss does happen to have Rocket Helmet, a fake out from Melvin's Kangaskhan onto Ryan's Kangaskhan will help quite a lot. Now you actually see two bulky Pokemon on Ryan's side of the team.
Yes, and Melvin actually chooses to switch his Rotom out for the Aegislash, maybe predicting some play on Ryan's part. Goes for the return onto the Amoonguss, getting hit by the Rocky Helmet. Brilliant switch by Ryan Chiam over there.
I mean, Ryan probably expected the target, but not specifically which move. Oh, we actually see Skill Sword coming out straight onto the Kangaskhan. Very good move there by Ryan.
Very good. Stealing away Kangaskhan's parental bond effectively negates its power by about a third. Yes. That might be able to save the Amoonguss the next turn if it decides to Rage Power the return or the Shadow Ball, which might give the Cresselia a bit more time to do a bit more damage to spread status against Melvin's team. Strangely enough, it seems that that play alone might somehow push the battle towards Ryan's favor. However, one should not be too hasty, and we will see what Melvin decides to do
Yes.
from here on out.
And Melvin did win the past two Premier Challenge,
Yes.
so he has to already have quite a good mindset already in how he approached to his battles. I mean, he's already quite well practiced and well trained right now, so I mean, things like this will probably throw him off a bit, but
He can probably adjust
Yes.
and adapt. He's probably checking his options, seeing what's in his bag. The easiest way to reset skill swap is to switch out the Kangaskhan into something that the Mungus probably doesn't threaten. And for all we know, yes, as we see, Ryan Chiam decides that not risk his Mungus, switching out for Heatran. However, this might open it up to a bit more damage. Melvin is opting to stay in, protecting his Kangaskhan, trying to see what Ryan Chiam chooses to do. Psychic going off, Substitute going off on the Aegis Slash. Ryan Chiam giving Melvin just a little bit of leeway, and he's taking it all the way he can.
But that was a very good play there by Melvin, protecting his Kangaskhan, using Protect. I mean, it is not a common move you see on Kangaskhan. Usually they run Fake Out, but Ryan probably already knew Melvin quite well from his previous
Yes.
games, so to know that Melvin runs Protect. I mean, usually in this kind of situation, you'll see Mungus maybe sporing straight into the Kangaskhan slot, as
Yes.
Kangaskhan will probably switch out or stay attacking without Parental Bond. But as you can see here, the Protect option is there, making Ryan kind of waste his turn in the sense of setting up a substitute for AG Slash, and that's pretty much one of the worst Pokemons to face behind the substitute.
Especially now that his Heatran will have to go the extra mile to try to take it out. Psychic coming out from Cresselia, gonna do 1.5 damage thanks to the Parental Bond. Flamethrower coming out from Heatran, targeting down the Aegis Slash, breaking down the sub.
Probably not Heat Wave, because you wouldn't want to risk a miss here against a sub.
However, Ryan Chiam trying his best here to go and regain some sort of offensive advantage by doubling, by attacking, putting as much pressure as he can on Melvin. Shadow Ball doing less than half on Cresselia. That is actually quite risky here.
Yeah, I mean now Melvin is pretty much forced to protect using his H Slash, less risk being hit by another Flamethrower or a Heat Wave right now. So I mean, I'm guessing AG Slash will probably protect or switch out right as of this moment, and Ryan can actually pretty much make use of that. However, if Melvin does predict that,
And he just goes for the attack.
Yeah, he just goes for an attack, and Ryan pretty much just gets hit by AG Slash. And
Yes.
AG Slash with his 150 base attack in Blade form, it's not something you want to get hit by, even if you're a bulky Cresselia.
Yes, that's true. However, Heatran is quite fast. I would think that speed tiers right now is like Rotom, Heatran, Cresselia, then Aegis Slash. If Heatran actually move, but the problem is the Rotom. If the Heatran takes too much damage from the Rotom, it might not be able to stop the Aegis Slash. Right now, the full health Heatran is providing just enough offensive pressure on Ryan Chiam's side, so that Melvin has to think his moves through carefully.
I mean, if Ryan is willing to risk a Hydro Pump onto Heatran, he can just go for a Heat Wave because he wants a safer move.
Yes.
But you do see a Protect King Shield here from AG Slash, not wanting to get hit by any fire type moves. Rotom's of course going to go straight for the Hydro Pump, straight
Probably
to the
not going to
Heatran.
take out the Heatran. Ryan Chiam seems to be quite happy to let his Heatran take damage.
Rotom's going to take another 1.5 hit, proccing the Citrus Berry before the second hit of thanks to Parental Bond. Not going to be doing too much, of course, Rotom being quite a bulky Pokemon as it is. Flamethrower comes out straight into the Protect.
A bit too straight from Ryan over there.
That was kind of risky. I mean, as mentioned just now, I mean, one thing Melvin could have done is just attack straight away. However, King Shield is kind of the safe play on Melvin's side of the team.
Yes. And Melvin always does tend to go for the safer plays, it seems. So Ryan Chiam's Heatran just took a lot of damage for not enough gain, I would think.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with going with this risky plays, Flamethrower into AG Slash. However, the risk and reward is not really there for Heatran. I mean, he risks a bit too much there, taking a Hydro Pump straight in the face from Rotom, not really covering his bases very well.
Yes. Ryan Chiam might be trying to might be overextending himself a bit here. Now he's trying to backpedal, trying to get some defensive advantage, sending out Amoonguss again.
I mean, Amoonguss would take any attacks from either of these Pokemon quite well. Volt Switch not going to be doing too much, being electric type. But it does give Melvin a chance to switch out, maybe back into his Kangaskhan or whatever other Pokemon he has. We do see Kangaskhan coming back, being able to go straight for a attack powerful return attack on either of these Pokemon.
Psychic going on to the Aegis Slash, but perhaps Ryan Chiam was predicting something. Didn't seem to work out well for him there. Substitute coming off. Aegis Slash is back under behind
Melvin
the
is
sub.
Melvin is pretty much just playing around Ryan very easily right here. Ryan is not really putting up much of a fight as at this moment. Most of his attacks are either not doing any. Most of the time either playing too defensively or going straight into protects.
And now his main way to stop Kangaskhan with Cresselia and skill swap, it's not going to work.
Yeah, you're just going to skill swap parental bond for parental bond. It's not going to work that way.
Yeah.
I mean, right now you have AG Slash behind another substitute. Amogus can't really do anything about that. He usually King Shield, since King Shield doesn't prevent you being hit by status attacks, you would think that AG Slash is very spore bait from Amogus. However, behind the substitute, he cannot get spot, so that AG Slash is pretty much very safe right now. Ryan's main choice of attacking AG Slash Hitchin is very in danger, as now in the back, not being able to do anything. So you have to attack twice when Hitchin comes back in, and that's not a luxury Hitchin can take.
And Ryan can't exactly switch his Cresselia out with Kangaskhan being able to put a lot of pressure on whatever it switches in if Melvin predicts that. Shadow Ball from Aegis Slash targeting down the Amogus, probably doesn't want to deal with the Rage Powder when Kangaskhan does go for the attack.
That was a critical hit, but not enough to KO it. Spore does come out straight onto Kangaskhan protect. But in that turn, Amogus can't really do anything at all, so doesn't really matter. Yeah.
I do think that Ryan Chiam knows that he's in a bad position and he can't figure his way out of it right now.
Right now, his best choice at the moment probably is just going to sack either Pokemon led. He would prefer if both Pokemon goes down, so he can send out both Hitchin and Kangaskhan in for free. He could land off attack then, but I think this is really Melvin's game at this moment.
Yes, especially since Melvin still hasn't revealed his last, which could be Landorus T. If it does turn out to be Landorus T, then both Kangaskhan and Hitchin will be in a very bad position.
Yeah, this is another one of those moments where you can pretty much see how the game is going to carry out just from the first few turns. While Ryan's playing a bit too defensively, and the very few moments he does choose to attack, he attacks into the wrong Pokemon.
Kangaskhan goes for the return onto the Cresselia, doing massive damage. Not taking it out though. Cresselia does manage to pull off one last hit on the Kangaskhan, 1.5 Psychic.
I apologize since we have a bit of technical issues here. Seems like our internet connection not as great as we wish for it to be. But apparently the AG Slash goes straight Flash Cannon into the Kangaskhan, not doing too much, actually letting the Cresselia leave. Probably not something Ryan would have wanted. I mean, Cresselia fainting would have been a good chance to send out Amogus or Hitchin. Then his own Kangaskhan can just use Fake Out to keep it safe.
Yes.
Just another turn.
However, he seems to have a really big problem right now trying to deal with that Aegis Slash. He's not able to break that suck. He's not able to do any damage to it. And meanwhile, Aegis Slash is still firing off attacks left, right, and center. Yeah, it's actually a bad position for Ryan Chiam here.
Aegis Slash is pretty much MVP right here. Not hiding behind the sub, as you mentioned. Yeah, there's nothing Ryan can really do. Even setting in Hitchin's too low for HP to even do anything good.
Melvin playing it very safe, not risking anything. Switching Aegis Slash back into shield form so that will take reduced damage from Sucker Punch.
So not wanting to get, his own Kangaskhan not wanting to get faked out just in case anything does happen. Power Up Punch actually goes
onto
straight.
its own Cresselia! Getting it a +1, that might be enough to turn things around.
That was actually the best move Ryan could have done. Power Up Punch at least helps benefits his own Kangaskhan.
Yes.
He's being able to switch in something for free as well.
But at the same time, it feels that Aegis Slash, its health is probably too high for Sucker Punch to take out.
Yeah.
And Ryan Chiam still has to deal with the fact that the Aegis Slash is still probably going to deal a lot of damage. And if he focuses too much on the Aegis Slash and ignores the Kangaskhan, Kangaskhan's going to pick off whoever is his partner or even his own Kang.
Right now, you know that Melvin's Kangaskhan could not protect, so one would expect maybe Ryan could go straight for Sucker Punch, but a switch out will make that kind of wasted anyway. So Ryan's in a position where anything he can do, Melvin can just one-up him regardless of whatever action.
Yes. One thing interesting that I'm not sure Ryan has noted yet is that Melvin actually does not have a fighting attack on his Kangaskhan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as you can see, Kangaskhan pretty much just use protect, return, nothing else really yet.
So it's actually very interesting to see how. So just in his Heatran, I'm not exactly sure what he expects to do here. Perhaps he just wants to break the Aegis Slashes sub, take out the Kangaskhan.
I mean, Heatran's HP is in the red. Return does come out straight for the Kangaskhan. At least managed to KO something for Ryan. However, it's a bit too little too late, I believe.
Not quite, not quite. Remember, the Rotom is not exactly on full health either.
True. The Flamethrower does help reduce the sub. Let's see what AG Slash decides to do this turn. Oh, another substitute.
I'm not sure whether that was the best play for Melvin at this point of time, especially since Heatran is on so low health. Unless he's going to send out his Landorus, which will probably be enough to Earthquake, and then he can just finish it up. Oh, it turns out he uses a Mungus instead.
I mean, in this kind of situation, Melvin, looking at what Ryan's been using his Heatran for, you've seen Flamethrower coming out and not Heat Wave. So I guess Melvin believes that setting out the Mungus, taking that Flamethrower to for Mungus to take that Flamethrower is not too much of a problem.
Not only that, the Mungus allows Melvin to circumvent the Sucker Punches from Kangaskhan, Rage Powdering it from Aegis Slash, which maintains Aegis Slash's own power.
Aegis Slash pretty much has his own sub. His sub is pretty much almost guaranteed to stay on for another turn.
Yes.
And Aegis Slash can take out Heatran anytime he wants at this point of time.
In fact, if he Rage Powders a Kangaskhan in return, he might be able to take out the Kangaskhan this turn.
True. A Flash Cannon plus maybe a Rocky Helmet.
Yes.
That will help a lot in the category of Kangaskhan.
Ryan, that's it. That +1 Kangaskhan plus Heatran's presence is still enough to give Ryan Chiam some leeway of maneuverability. If he can, and especially since we've seen that the last Pokemon is not Landorus, Amoonguss itself on Ryan's team coming out might be enough to give Ryan a bit of a winning edge.
As you can see, the Rage Powder that coming out, Flamethrower does go straight for the Amoonguss. Let's see what AG Slash actually decides to do this turn. Oh, gets a burn to the Amoonguss.
Not doing enough damage though. Who does the Aegis Slash target? Does he go for the Kangaskhan or the Heatran?
You can see the Shadow Ball, I believe it goes straight for the Heatran.
Yes, he does go straight for the Heatran, taking it out.
At this point, there's nothing Ryan can really do much about the AG Slash. What Ryan needed to do for this game was to take out the AG Slash and then he has a chance of winning. However, now his main way of actually damaging the AG Slash is gone. Kangaskhan can't really damage it as much. I mean, sure, he has Sucker Punch. However, AG Slash could just use Substitute just to play around that, and you can't really do anything about it after that.
Not mentioned, as long as Melvin continues weakening his Ryan's Pokemon with Amoonguss and Aegis Slash, actually, to be honest, he might want to get rid of the Amoonguss as well, Amoonguss first in order to take out any threat to his Rotom W for the end game.
Yeah. I mean, getting rid of Amoonguss first, at least Amoonguss won't be able to spore your AG Slash if its sub is down. You have your Rotom, as you mentioned, the Rotom W will be safe from Amoonguss. You can just double target straight onto the Kangaskhan to win the game.
Yes.
Even a burn could have just, even a Will-O-Wisp onto a Kangaskhan if you feel like playing safe.
Might be enough to turn the entire game around, but I think Melvin's Rotom does not have Will-O-Wisp. I'm not quite sure about that.
That one we'll have to see if we get that far in the game.
Ryan analyzing his options, trying to figure out if there's any way out of this problem.
I mean, there might be a way, but it's a bit hard to identify at this point.
Kind of hard. Whatever choice he makes, the Kangaskhan and the Amoonguss is going to take unnecessary damage, and he's not going to inflict as much damage onto Melvin as it is.
Melvin has to make a mistake or two for Ryan to even have a chance.
But Melvin has always been a very, very good player. His plays have always made the most amount of sense for the long run.
I mean, as you can see, even during the previous turn, even after getting hit by Skill Swap, he's still making good plays, going for protects and all, not switching out unnecessarily, getting hit by Spore and all that. We actually see Amoonguss on Ryan's side going for the protect. Return goes straight onto Melvin's on Amoonguss, knocking it out. I mean, it does help a bit, however, AG Slash is still there. Shadow Ball,
the Shadow Ball goes into the Amoonguss. This might be the mistake that Ryan needs to get back in the game.
Yeah, now you have Rotom and AG Slash against Amoonguss at Kangaskhan. I mean, Amoonguss does threaten the Rotom, however the AG Slash is still a big deal behind the sub.
Definitely, definitely. Especially since if Among Us has already used his protect this turn, if it tries to protect again, there's a chance that it will fail. And at the same time, if it rage powders away the attacks, it's probably going to die from a shadow ball or flash cannon at this point.
And one thing that Ryan could try if he predicts correctly that AG Slash attack is to sucker punch into AG Slash, taking out his sub and going Spore into it.
But that would assume that the Among Us actually survives the turn. I don't think that's possible with the amount of HP he has right now.
Yeah, Among Us has to take a Shadow Ball first before anything could happen.
And if Melvin decides to just target down the Kangaskhan, there's not much that the Among Us can do unless it Rage Powders away. Ryan Chiam is practically forced to use Rage Powder at this point. It actually makes it very easy for Melvin to go and see his opponent's choices.
Yeah, there's nothing really Ryan can do to make a good overwhelming advantage in this situation.
It seems like the entire game, Melvin has actually been dominating with that substitute Aegis Slash. Ryan Chiam has not been able to break it, and he has let his only really good solid counter against Aegis Slash damage-wise, Heatran, take too much damage from a Hydro Pump from that Rotom.
I mean, you're sending out your Heatran against Rotom Wash, and you're just leaving it out there, going straight into attack into it when it was still going when it went to King Shield.
Sucker Punch coming out, going on to the Aegis Slash.
Ryan's probably going to go for that risk that I mentioned. I mean,
he did not go for the Rage Powder, so yeah, you might be right. You might be just going for the Spore.
Ooh.
Doing a lot of damage. Oh, because Aegis Slash is in Blade form.
Thunder Wave does come out insane, not attacking, does come out paralyzing. Does it use Shadow Ball? Yes, Shadow Ball does come out onto the Among Us. Does it knock it out though?
And it
does come out onto the Aegis Slash.
Onto the Aegis Slash.
This might be the break that Ryan actually needs to win this game right now.
That could be very possible. That could be very possible. But at the same time, paralysis is going to be a bit of a trouble for Ryan to work with. If his Kangaskhan gets fully paralyzed, if the Rotom doesn't actually use his protect, if the Aegis Slash decides to wake up the next turn.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong here.
Yes.
Ryan, I mean, one thing Ryan might be tempted to do is to use Rage Powder to Among Us. However, while that might redirect Rotom's attack and he can knock out Rotom out, Kangaskhan can't really do much against AG Slash the turn after.
That's very true. Ryan Chiam is really in a very bad position. He might just want to protect his Among Us and try to take out the Rotom Watch right now.
Yes, I mean, AG Slash will take that one turn of sleep first, but what happens after that, we have no idea.
The Among Us surviving that Shadow Ball, that was the turning point. Ryan Chiam still has a chance in this.
You could tell Ryan was already shaking his head when he took the Shadow Ball, thinking that he will faint. But now we see Rotom protecting. Will Ryan pick the correct target though?
He can't do much. Both of them decide to protect.
I mean, a Giga Drain would help a bit. Giga Drain, does go onto AG Slash. It does help a bit, not too much.
It at least maybe negates the leftovers healing.
I mean, damage is damage, I guess.
Yeah. So now Ryan is in a position. What if the Aegis Slash wakes up this turn? What if the Rotom, I mean, his Kangaskhan is probably the slowest thing on the field right now.
I mean, previous turn, Melvin pretty much did the only thing he could do, and I mean, there's nothing Ryan could do about the previous turn about Rotom protecting. He couldn't damage the AG Slash anyway, so.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that Giga Drain did a bit of damage, but I would think it's kind of insignificant at this moment.
And no matter what, even though Among Us has a type advantage against Rotom, even though it can probably take out Rotom from the south, Rotom is more likely to take out Among Us.
Yes, thanks to the speed advantage. What Ryan needs to hold now is for his AG Slash to sleep one more turn, at least one more turn, and for Kangaskhan to actually be able to move.
Attack.
Yes.
Aegis Slash does get the sleep. Does Among Us go for the protect? Yes, the Among Us does go for the protect. Is Kangaskhan able to attack this turn?
Yes, Kangaskhan. But
he went for the Sucker Punch!
But Volt Switch goes straight into the Among Us. However, Ryan is wasting precious sleep turns right now.
And at this point, Aegis Slash might just be able to pull off a sub. 48 out of 166 seems to be more than 25%.
Yes. I mean, those turns were the very important turns that Ryan has to actually take down either one Rotom or AG Slash.
That was a crucial one. I think Ryan made a very, very big mistake right there.
He was too focused onto the AG Slash. He forgot Rotom is still kind of a threat against the Among Us. Among Us actually uses Rage Powder this time round.
He's not going to he's not going to survive this.
Yeah, he's not going to survive.
Coming out.
I'm guessing the AG Slash actually used substitute this turn.
It's very possible. Even though although
Oh, walk out, and it does use the substitute.
actually that might actually have been a mistake for Melvin because now if if Kangaskhan manages to survive through
Yes.
next turn, Melvin is in a lot of trouble. That will
The
help.
first sucker punch will probably take out the substitute. The second sucker punch will manage to deal at least this 17, at least this very few measly health that AG Slash have at the moment. We have to see whether he can go through the paralysis.
It
It
failed.
fails. I mean,
Substitute. And now we see a Kang and Aegis Slash.
I see what Melvin is trying to do. He's trying to.
Melvin has his game.
He just needs to spam substitute, get his leftovers up to enough HP to survive the 0.5 sucker punch, and then he can just start attacking from there.
Yes, definitely. Melvin has his game pretty much.
Yeah, all he has to do is just not rush.
But Melvin's always been a very patient player.
Yes. To be honest, I mean, looking at this whole game right now, there's nothing Ryan can do right now. He just have to start healing. I apologize to the viewers on the stream. It's going to be a bit boring from here onwards. You're going to see AG Slash you're just going to see both players use the same move over and over again, and AG Slash is going to get HP just so that he can land off one attack.
Although the possibility still exists that Ryan, because Flash Cannon did only less than 50% to the Kangaskhan, so there's a possibility that if Ryan manages to land a sucker punch, he might be able to push Aegis Slash down to enough damage. But
and you see Ryan actually uses fake out, not wanting to waste sucker punch PP this time.
this is going to be quite a long and drawn out battle.
Yeah. Sucker punch only has 8 PP at maximum, so spamming sucker punch is not really a great idea at this moment.
If we were playing on timer though, Ryan Chiam would have already won.
Yes, if the 45 minute timer that we use in Worlds and National was on, Ryan actually already got this game right then and there.
Yes.
Unfortunately this is just a premier challenge, so we're running our full 90 minutes timer here.
Which is kind of a bit of a... I do apologize to the rest of the players for this.
Yeah.
King Shield coming out, Melvin...
Still getting the health back.
Ryan wasting his sucker punches over there. I'm not sure that was the right time.
Ryan has to choose the right time to use sucker punch. Unfortunately, it's very hard to predict when is the right time. Because in the end, it's still up to Melvin's choice when he wants to use his attack.
In that sense, Melvin has a lot of advantage over here.
Melvin could just heal up to full HP if he so wishes to.
Yes.
Yeah, there's really nothing much to talk about here. I mean, right now, you just look at it. Just all we see now is just look at the timer of 35 minutes left out of 90 minutes. So let's just see which turn AG Slash decides to attack. I mean, you viewers, you can just you can try decide and bet how many minutes into the game. Maybe 34 minutes, 34, 30.
Nah,
it's not gonna be that anytime soon.
this is a very, very tense...
So how many more turns do you think until AG Slash attacks?
I don't know. If we started counting, I'm not sure how many sucker punches that Kangaskhan
Ryan's probably out of PP at the moment.
Yeah, because at this point, if Ryan Chiam runs his sucker punch out of PP, he may as well just forfeit.
Yeah.
Aegis Slash, there's at least 16 for King.
Yeah, I think you see Ryan Chiam taking off his headphone. He probably just forfeits, probably out of PP, knowing that it's possible for him to be at this moment.
And Melvin still going strong, still gunning for that place on third PC.
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna disturb him a bit and just bring out that Nets and Worlds as a 45 minutes timer. but because
45 seconds.
45 seconds and 45 and the total time of the match will be, I think if I recall, it's 20 minutes. I can't recall the exact time. Yeah, 20 minutes. 20 minutes had definitely went by.
Yeah, definitely went by.
Yes, totally. So I'm just gonna during the video I'm gonna disturb him on that fact. But I think that was pretty much a good place on both sides. I mean, people are of course going to complain about Melvin stalling throughout the last part of the match, but
that's his win condition.
Yes, I mean, if that's how you're going to win, might as well take it. I mean, you see players complaining about rock slides, flinches, stalling, just spamming Moonlight, but if you're playing to win,
you just do whatever you have to.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks. Yeah, I have to agree, but oh well, that's part of it.
And I would say that given the way that these two players were playing, they definitely showed skill. There was not skillless. He was playing stalls simply because that was his only option left.
Unfortunately for Ryan, he didn't have timer on his side. So,
Yes.
well, now we're gonna go straight into the interview with Melvin, asking him. I guess we're not. Alright, I guess we're not gonna go interview.
Because apparently the battle took too long.
Yeah, I mean, substitute stall was a bit long.
Yeah.
So I guess we just we'll be back soon for the final round of Swiss.
Yes, that's true, that's true.
Alright.
And then after that, we'll move on to the top cut.
Alright, so see you guys later.